The English voice actor of Kazuma Kiryu, YongYea, has announced that the English dub of the game for Yakuza Like a Dragon 2 is has been delayed. The game launches only with Japanese voiceover and English subs. If you want to listen to the English version, you're gonna have to wait. And I really have to wonder if this is like a coordinated tactic by Sega, because YongYea being casted as Kazuma Kiryu is something that like everyone, absolutely everyone hates. You know, anybody who knows who YongYea is, who knows what a huge corporate cocksucker he is, and like that he's the stereotypical like YouTuber who just reads articles with like the on his channel with like the most monotone voice possible, right? Like anybody who knows who YongYea is does not want him to succeed in voice acting, right? Anyone who knows anything about this guy and his background and his content and his lack of ability as a voice actor doesn't want him anywhere near something like Yakuza that really prides itself on its acting and its general like high quality voiceover work, right? You know, what little I played of Yakuza 7, I was actually fairly impressed with the English voice acting, right? It actually felt like a legitimately good dub, right? But like seeing Yongye be forced into this iconic role, right? Seeing him like use his nepotism to try and land this role in order to be taken seriously as a voice actor is like laughable, right? Like nobody liked this decision. Nobody. And a lot of YouTubers came out in defense of him, like I know ProZD did, like other YouTubers who are in the same position as him, right? People who legitimately believe they are going to become famous by voice acting in terrible way forward like remakes of uh of like Nintendo games and, ecchi anime and like Japanese like dramas, right? People who think they're going to be famous by being involved in this sphere, right? Like people who think they're going to make it in like the entertainment industry just by like, you know, playing iconic characters in English, right? And Yonge I think is like the stereotype of that kind of behavior, and that he uses his nepotism, he uses his connections in the industry to land him roles that he 100% should not be able to get, right? Like it's so strange seeing him like latch on to like fan favorite characters of brands and like try and leech off of their success and popularity, right? It hasn't worked yet because nobody cares about the English dubs of like this kind of Japanese media anymore, especially with this kind of person attached to it. But like it's really embarrassing to see him like act like he's a hot shot. Like, oh man, I'm gonna show up to an event cosplaying as Kiryu. I'm gonna hang out with the Japanese voice. Like, oh, he totally loves my take on the character. Press exit out. Right? Like it's cringy. Like it's embarrassing. And I have to wonder if like the Sega has decided that like this has been a mistake, right? And as a result of this, like they felt the need to delay the dub because I really feel as if the dub is going to be something that's like universally mocked among fans. And I don't think that happened to the dub of Yakuza 7, right? So this is going to be like kind of an unprecedented situation in which like the miscasting of Yong Ye as Kuryu is going to negatively impact the brand as a whole, right? Right? It really does feel that way. In that, like, whenever this game comes up, like, as rare as it is, because this game doesn't seem like it's going to be all that successful for a variety of reasons, but, like, when you actually look at, like, how this game is being talked about, like, what it all comes down to is that, like, Yongye as Kuryu, the most laughable casting choice I legit think I've ever heard in, like, anything ever. And, of course, like, I don't pay attention to actors. I'm not a degenerate, but like Yongye as Kuryu, it's like it doesn't make me think that like oh Yongye like he must be secretly a really talented actor if he's able to play such a nuanced character. I'm just like no, I think nepotism. I think corruption. I think miscasting. Right? Like I think there were probably okay. I would say dozens or hundreds or thousands of better choices, but like I'm gonna just go out and say that like I think anybody could have done a better job. I'm sure there are like women who could have done a better job. Like I'm sure there are like really talented people out there in like the legit voice acting YouTube community that could have done like a better job than YongYea did. But because he's like the big YouTuber, he's the one that like Sega naively believed would bring like a bunch of like new fans to the series because of like um because of who he is, like it's just led to this thing where there's this very real backlash to like the English dub. And I have to wonder if like this specifically is the reason why Sega delayed the game. Because if it doesn't launch day one, if this isn't the version that like hardcore fans play like right off the bat, then maybe it won't get so much heat. Maybe people won't like make fun of it so much. Uh, maybe like they'll get off scot free, and then they'll be able to get away with like recasting YongYea by the next game, right? Like I don't know if that's the case, but like it just seems like very odd to me that this happened in this manner. It just seems very unnatural. It seems very forced. It seems like Sega is doing everything they can to try it to avoid like actively reprimanding YongYea for his behavior and like how he's been acting and like fire him from the project and like recasting him because out of concerns that would cause bad PR, right? Like it just seems like this game is shaping up to be a massive disaster. And I'm really curious, like, what else is wrong with it? Like, what else are we gonna see wrong with this title? I mean, like, I think people are burned out on Yakuza in general. I'm seeing so many people saying that like they were done with it by like four, and that they should have like started using other characters, and that like the Kuryu as a character is played out, and like the formula is boring, and like the hype cycle this series had back when like Yakuza Zero first came out, or is pretty much done. It's burnt out. It's over. And I'm curious if this is going to be the last like hurrah for the brand. I find it interesting how people say the series is like a AAA franchise when it's really not. Like, you can't look at this series and like seriously tell me it's AAA. It looks budget as all out. Like everybody, I'm not a Yakuza fan, but like I am very curious to see just how Yongye is received by like players when the English dub finally launches. I expect his performance is going to be reviled, and I cannot wait to cover that live when it happens.